What's up, guys? I'm here today with Will. He's a co-founder of GI John's. They're a portable sanitation business, and he's here to share with you today some considerations if you're thinking about hiring veterans, because he's a military veteran himself.
Some things to think about that have been important to us when we consider engaging with other veterans and trying to bring them into the business. I think at the very top of that list is probably, when you have discussions with them, is making sure that you share the purpose and the vision for the business. You know, you're not just hiring them to, hey, this is a job. Veterans are really comfortable with understanding that they need to do things, especially once they're given the commander's intent of why they're doing that thing. So the why is very important. So explain to them, hey, this is the business, this is what we do, yes, but this is a vision for the business. This is where we want to get to with it. This is why we're so ambitious. This is why we want to grow, and this is how you can be a part of it. And I think that's really important for veterans to understand what the ambition is, what the IoT, the in order to, why are we doing this? That will get them on board with the vision, and that gives them purpose. A second thing that I think is really important to bring to light when you're engaging with veterans is providing them with a clear path to their growth within the business. So explain to them, like, hey, this is where you're at today, this is where you're going to start, this is our ambition for you, this is a pathway that you can get there, and then make sure that that path is filled with hardship and challenge. It's a way to really get them engaged, to, again, like, feel like they're involved and feel like what they're doing is important. And generally speaking, they're going to have an ambition and a sense of purpose when faced with challenge, and it will help them grow into that person and grow into that role that you see for them in the future. Another thing to think about is really when you're getting them up and running is encourage their perspective on strategy and decision making. In our backgrounds, we were always taught as being leaders that as a leader, you're not really going to have all the answers. The responsibility that you have, a good leader will know they don't have all the answers. They have humility to understand that, but they do have the awareness to know, who do I go to get those answers? So when you engage with them that way and understand that you might not know the best way to do something, but they might have ideas that can contribute, encourage their perspective and encourage those contributions, and it will help them feel like, again, they're part of a shared purpose. Another thing to think about is really encourage their engagement with other veteran causes, whether it's within your business. If there's other veterans, encourage them to have a community within the business's community, so to speak. That becomes a comfort zone, I think, for a lot of folks with a background and veteran status. It's a place where they're comfortable, and it also, again, it just helps them have that camaraderie and have a shared experience, which is kind of unique to their backgrounds. The other thing is, as a business, GI John's is engaged with Travis Manion Foundation and supporting Gold Star families through them. For us, that's a rallying cry for all of our employees, not just our veterans, but it certainly resonates very much with those veterans. So give them the opportunity and encourage them to, find those organizations, whether they're external or internal, as a place that they can go and sort of align with that community and surround themselves with people who understand the shared experience. The last thing I would say, and I think this one's a little bit more sensitive, is from my perspective, the folks that we work with at GI John's, I would say don't overemphasize the thank you for your service when you're engaging with veterans. It is great to recognize the service and the sacrifices that they've made, but not all veterans want to necessarily engage with that every single day and maybe revisit some of those thoughts and memories. So it is great to acknowledge the fact that they come to you with this experience. They have a willingness to sacrifice, a willingness to serve, but ultimately they all deal with it in their own different ways. Sometimes they might want to talk, sometimes they might not want to talk. Just recognize the fact that you've got somebody who's of a different caliber, of a different background, and they're going to have a different way of wanting to engage with people publicly about that. So it's something that we're very sensitive to in our business, and as outside of the community, I think it's something that people are uncomfortable with sometimes, how to bridge that gap or bridge that chasm. And so just be aware of it, recognize it, but don't overemphasize it to them on a day-to-day basis, and just let them be who they are and let them contribute to the business. And you'll be impressed with all the things that they have to offer.